Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hope dumps Carter when Brooke puts Ridge on the spot in front of Taylor. Brooke begs, Ridge, please, at Forrester Creations, where she laments that he abandoned them. She hopes he feels the same way because she doesn't want to spend another minute without him. But now we have a chance to change things. I would like you to return to me. Daphne and Steffi celebrate. Steffi and Daphne celebrate their victory with water in the design office. Steffi assures her buddy that without her assistance in bringing Carter around, none of this would have occurred. Steffi doesn't think he would have arrived on his own, but Daphne does. Hope was in his ear. They rejoice that she is no longer with the organization. Taylor enters and expresses her happiness for Steffi and her dad. I'm sure Ridge is overjoyed. They discuss the suspension of Hope for the future and Hope's departure. The Logans are big on dramatics, scoffs Steffi. Taylor inquires as to if Carter and Brooke have also left. Steffi responds, no. She felt conflicted about it and assumes her mother feels the same way. Taylor wonders why Carter was permitted to remain when he was a key player in bringing the event to fruition. Yes, Daphne replies, instrumental. Hope used Carter as a tool to achieve her goals. Steffi attributes their success in saving Forrester to Daphne. Carter would have arrived on his own, according to Daphne. She's hoping he'll throw Hope out. One has to wonder if it's the end for them, Taylor muses, considering how she left. Brooke desires Ridge's return. Brooke wants to go back in time, Ridge thinks in the main office. At least from their perspective, she wants to return to the state of affairs that existed prior to all of this. Ridge summarizes that Hope made numerous poor decisions that had an impact on everyone. Even though Brooke is aware of this and feels bad about it, she is confident that they can return to their former state as a happy and wonderful pair. Do you also want that? Although Brooke is aware that Ridge didn't damage her by turning to Taylor, it still hurt. It was really painful. When she imagines him living with her at Eric's and starting a life together, it still does. Their love was what got her through. She thinks it's real. They can overcome everything with it. Even this. Brooke Ridge bed and breakfast. Carter makes a Hope-based argument. Carter assures Hope at the cabin that their possessions are valuable. Hope fumes at the hollowness of his words. He broke it, so he can't fix it. And for what exactly, another place at the table with Ridge? Carter was unable to continue as things were. Hope is furious that Ridge and Eric took use of his remorse to have him tear up and destroy the LLC documents at the same moment. Carter apologizes but promises that their relationship will continue. We'll return from this. Hope believes he picked the Forresters over them, but Carter assures her that their love is being tested. Carter begs her to keep their relationship going and assures her that he loves her. Aim to comprehend. Please try to forgive me. Hope restates that this ruined them. Although Carter is aware that she is in pain, it feels that way. Hope queries, but what? Is he hoping that when she wakes up, she won't remember this? According to Carter, he's exactly there, I lost everything. Hope yells because he failed to support her. Carter was unaware that they would break their word. Naturally, she wasn't going to let her remain, but Hope yells that Steffi has it out for her. Carter promises that he will persuade Steffi to reconsider. She despises what they did, not herself. Hope, it was wrong. Why are you unable to view that? Hope queries why he is blind to the fact that he is the sole traitor present. It was he, not her, who was aware of LLC documents. All she did was encourage his dream. It was my fault. Carter nods. You stood by me. It was wrong for us to make this happen, and it was wrong to steal from the corporation. Hope's eyes narrow. Does he believe she coerced him into signing those documents? No, Carter says. He is the one accepting accountability for his deeds. He and her mother both see it, and once she does, they can move on. I hope B&B. Carter makes it clear that he loves her and is not attacking her. Hope believes he loves his work and Ridge, his brother, a bit more. He cheated on her with Daphne, she claims. Have you grown to feel something for her? One of the people who supported you the most, she said, casting suspicion on him. Carter groans in exasperation. Ridge right there. Steffi and Daphne discuss how Carter deserves far more respect in the design studio than Hope does. Steffi reflects that when she fired her daughter, she expected Brooke to quit in protest, but she hasn't resigned yet. You mean what? Asks Taylor. Steffi claims that she requested some alone time with her father. She presumes that she believes she can save Hope's employment. She may also want something unrelated to her work. Regaining her destiny. Ridge never questioned Brooke's love in the main office, but what she did was an even greater betrayal. Because she did it for him, Brooke objects. The fact that he is back at the organization where he belongs is what counts. Additionally, he should be back at home with her, in her bed. I'm missing you. As Taylor enters, she rushes in for a kiss and says, "Tell me you miss me too." Whoa. What's happening? Or must I inquire? B&B and Taylor. They are joined by Taylor, who congratulates Ridge on regaining the company. Brooke feels relieved that the bad period is ended. They can now proceed. Taylor makes her final, desperate plea, asking whether she's going to go forward. She believes she walked in on that. Taylor tells her that she and Ridge have made a complete commitment to one another. Brooke assures her that she won't give up on her relationship with Ridge and doesn't want to consider them together. She turns to face him and declares that her love for him will never fade. You can't have both of us, Ridge. Brooke turns back to Taylor and adds, I think you feel the same way. What will it be, then? You will have to make a decision. With whom would you like to live out the rest of your days? The favor of Daphne. Steffi expresses her gratitude to Daphne in the design office, saying that she put her life in Paris on wait when she asked. That is the essence of genuine friendship. It was difficult, but they managed to get Forrester back. There was a twist, Daphne thinks. She only needs one favor, Carter should never be aware of their scheme. Steffi acknowledges that she has fallen deeply for him. Hope's last remark. Hope is furious in the cabin because Daphne kissed him and he not only permitted it but also stood by her when she told her to pack her bags. Carter says she can still trust him and wants her to give him another chance to make things right. It's unbelievable that I trusted you with my heart. Hope doesn't believe it. He simply stood there while she was once again degraded, humiliated, and slandered. It's over, regardless of the ideal they had together. Carter, this is over. Brooke demands that Ridge choose between her and Taylor, while Hope accuses Carter of betraying her and declares their breakup. Written by Minx Montana on March 25, 2025. Tuesday, March 25, 2025, Carter calls on Hope to accept responsibility, Brooke requests that Ridge go back in time, and Daphne asserts that Carter is worthy of better on today's Bold and the Beautiful. Recap of Monday's B&B, Hope left Carter when he chose Forrester over her, and Brooke kissed him and pleaded with Ridge to bring them back together. Daphne and Steffi celebrate themselves on their win in the design office. With Hope in his ear, Steffi questions whether Carter would have changed his mind on his own, but Daphne is certain that he would have. Taylor enters to express her happiness at the news. She is certain that Ridge is overjoyed. Steffi clarifies that they are finally free of Hope and that HFTF is suspended. She is conflicted about Brooke and Carter staying. They discuss Hope's use of Carter to achieve her goals. Taylor is certain that Carter would have changed his mind at some point. All they can hope for is that he gets Hope fired. Taylor questions whether Hope and Carter's relationship is over. Daphne grinned. When Steffi fired Hope, she hoped Brooke would step down. She clarifies that Brooke is currently meeting with Ridge, most likely pleading for her destiny to be restored. Brooke tells Ridge at Forrester that she feels as though he abandoned her. She doesn't want to spend any more time without him, and now they have the opportunity to make things better. She desires his return. While going forward, they have the ability to go back in time. Does he also want that? Ridge claims that they feel as though they have heard this before. She claims that her love has always carried them through difficult times and that she thinks it can do so again. He lets out a sigh. She betrayed him, yet he has never questioned her love. None of that matters now, she says. Now that he is in charge of the business once more, he must return to their bed. Before Taylor enters, Brooke leans in and begins to feel his lapels. She shares the wonderful news with Brooke and inquires as to if she is pleased. She makes it apparent that she and Ridge have recommitted to one another, presumably in an attempt to get back together. Brooke refuses to give up on Ridge and doesn't want to consider that. She glares at Taylor after telling him she is certain he still loves her. She reminds him that he cannot have both of them, therefore he will have to make a decision. Steffi thanks Daphne once more in the design office. They have achieved their goals, and she is a loyal friend. Carter can never be aware of their scheme, according to Daphne. Steffi believes she has fallen deeply in love with him. Carter tells Hope in the cabin that he doesn't want their relationship to end. She claims that he can't mend his broken words and that they are meaningless. Ridge and Eric took advantage of his weaknesses and exploited his remorse. That broke them up. Carter apologizes, but he maintains that this cannot be their final chapter. He believes they are merely being put to the test. She asserts that what is done is done. He rejected them in favor of the Forresters. He implores her to pardon and comprehend him. She is unsure of her ability to forgive him for ruining them. She won't forget losing everything by some miracle. They quarrel about his support for the Forresters, and she finds it hard to comprehend why he would believe Steffi would allow her to remain. Once the wounds start to heal, I can talk her out of it, he says. Hope is not convinced. She reminds him that he came up with the plan to take over the corporation and considers him a traitor. She did nothing but encourage his dream. She made a mistake. He claims that it was wrong and that they made it happen. Carter claims that in order for them to go on, she must accept responsibility for her acts, just as he has. He responds he loves the truth when she says he loves Ridge and his work more than she does. She keeps putting questions in his mind by reminding him that he kissed Daphne. He asks for another chance to make amends and reiterates his love for her. She reminds him that he did nothing but watch them defame her. It's over, whatever they had. It's over, Carter, she says again. Deacon provides hope while Daphne fears. Ridge's ultimatum and Daphne's panic. Daphne spends some time discussing her passionate and constantly developing feelings for Carter Walton with Zend Forrester Dominguez on Monday, March 24th. Additionally, Daphne is a touch scared this week and feels anxious when discussing Carter with Steffi Forrester. Daphne is quite worried and doesn't want Carter to ever learn that she came to town with the express purpose of luring him away from Hope. Naturally, Daphne fell in love with him after discovering that he was a finer man than she had anticipated, but she still doesn't want him to know about her dubious plan. At last, Steffi begins to realize how much Daphne has fallen for Carter. In the meantime, Ridge Forrester is pressuring Carter to pick between Hope and the Forresters and loyalty, which will annoy Brooke, Logan and Hope since they dislike the ultimatum. Hope begs Carter not to allow the Forresters to separate them in the interim. Hope believes that Carter should follow her out the door since she believes they are a team, but I don't see him doing that. Deacon provides hope while Daphne fears. Spoilers for Bold and Beautiful, Taylor's return and Brooke's fury put Hope and Carter's future in danger. Hope and Carter are having a very serious discussion about their future over at the cabin on Tuesday, March 25th. Hope views Carter's devotion to the Forresters as a complete betrayal, but he believes she should accept that he didn't go out with her. According to her, he should never have returned the firm, and that's the bottom line. Hope believes Carter was wrong to return it to Bold and the Beautiful, but she doesn't think they were wrong to steal it. And that's one of those things that we can't agree on. When Brooke enters and discovers Taylor Hayes with her hands all over Ridge, she lashes out at her, begging him to leave her and return to her. And that influences Ridge's decision between Taylor and Brooke on Wednesday, March 26th. Because Ridge is still upset about Brooke's betrayal and her taking up the CEO position after Carter stole the firm from him, Despite Brooke's claims that she merely accepted the position in an attempt to assist the Forresters, I'm inclined to believe that Ridge will remain with Taylor. We've watched Ridge choose between Taylor and Brooke so many times in the last, say, 20 years, and things are going to get sticky. How long this has been going on is beyond me, but I doubt this will be the last time he has to choose between them. A little miracle, that is. Speaking of having to choose between women, on Wednesday Daphne tries to woo Carter for herself. I wonder whether Daphne will succeed on the same day as Brooke fails. B&B special for Women's History Month, Brooke and Hope's duel. In a historic moment for daytime drama, we will welcome Heather Tom, who is a multi-Emmy award-winning actor and currently a writer and director on Bold and the Beautiful, to our landmark episode on Thursday, March 27th, in recognition of Women's History Month. She also serves as the director of additional primetime programs. In a very special episode, she and many of the other women on the show will be featured. Heather Tom is the star and writer of this episode. Mothers and daughters are the main focus. We will be seeing Brooke, Hope, Katie, and Donna Logan. I do wonder if we will get a brief look at Luna Nozawa and Sheila Carter. We shall see. Additionally, Brooke and Hope are engaged in a pretty heated battle this week, which could take place on this Thursday special episode. I believe this assessment of the scenario is quite accurate, especially when Brooke asks Ridge to go back with her this week and it sounds like he sticks with Taylor. Brooke is just up to her eyeballs with all of this and feels like this coup has cost her Ridge. According to Brooke, Hope should accept responsibility for her actions. Until she does, she will not show her daughter any pity for the things she has lost, such as her career and, at this point, possibly Carter. However, even though Brooke is furious with her, Hope believes that Carter's return of the business, rather than their initial theft, was the wrong thing to do. Will and Electra's romance, Luna's secret and Deacon's response. On Friday, March 28th, we will conclude the first week. Luna is thrilled to meet Will Spencer this week and is telling him how amazing the Spencers have been to him. It sounds like she might even blame Dollar Bill Spencer for her release from jail and pardon, which would be shocking for his son Will. Will and Electra Forrester's relationship advances as a result of Will talking to her about his emotions for her and his goals for the future. Some I love yous may even be dropped. When Sheila accepts Finn's daughter into her life, Deacon reacts. Sheila should expect it, but it's a strong reaction that will make her feel somewhat ashamed. Sheila is ecstatic that Finn's child is in her life and wants to celebrate, so we will still see Luna happy. Most likely, not many others wish to. Sheila's persuasion and the fashion show celebration, Ridge's return to work. Ridge has returned to work at Forrester Creations with joy. He is becoming busy designing. A fashion show will be held in a few weeks, during the third week of April, right before the May sweeps, to honor the Forresters' return to business. Given that hope for the future will remain on the shelf for a long time to come, I do wonder whether some of Zen's concepts may be incorporated into other lines. In the meantime, Sheila will try to persuade Deacon to accept Luna and realize that she is a victim of Poppy's terrible parenting, which is why his buddies Tom Starr and Hollis are dead. Maybe Deacon will say, okay, there's more issues here, even though he has his own murky past, especially once Sheila describes how pervy Poppy seduced a barely adult Finn. It's not because of Luna, but because Poppy was terrible. Therefore, it is hoped that he will adopt the stance that he will give Luna another chance to demonstrate that she is not a psycho killer. Naturally, Deacon's wife is a crazy killer, and he might simply push back. This could cause a lot of friction in his marriage to Sheila. Hope's battle and Daphne's seduction, Luna's second chance. Daphne is adamant about having Carter. She has the ability to detect blood in the water, much like a gorgeous, odorous French shark. Though this may have more to do with Hope's merciless rage toward Carter than Daphne's attempt at seduction, I do expect her to try everything in her power to win Hope's man. Luna's situation is improving. She has a second opportunity at a new life, and perhaps she will attempt to be decent like Sheila did. Or perhaps she will start making more trouble since she is upset that Steffi took Finn away from her. Luna and Remy Price might target Will and Electra as they come closer. Hope finds it difficult to accept the repercussions of her behavior. She's completely lost on Brooke. Steffi let her go once more. Carter supports the Forrester team. Additionally, keep an eye out for Hope to turn to Daddy Deacon, who is resolving his own relationship problems. Future bonding between a father and daughter. Brooke implores for another opportunity. Spoilers for Tuesday, March 25, 2025's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful show Brooke doing what she does best, begging Ridge to take her back. Is Brooke embarrassed again? Suddenly, Brooke Logan returns to her former self and pleads with Ridge Forrester, Torsten K., to think about bringing her back. Ridge goes back to being unsure of what to say. When Taylor Hayes interrupts the conversation in Eric Forrester's office, she too reverts to form. Brooke, Taylor, and Ridge have all gone through this numerous times before, and they are set to repeat the cycle. Ridge was certain that Taylor was appointed CEO of Forrester Creations in order to deceive him and his family, which is the only reason they are even together now. Ridge's life may change now that he understands and accepts what Brooke has been up to. Taylor, on the other hand, is not going to let Ridge go so easily. Now that she has him back, she is not going to let Brooke win. When they briefly became best friends, she trusted Brooke, but she later pursued Ridge once more. Will this pitiful and vacillating man be the cause of another conflict between Brooke and Taylor? Carter remains determined. Carter Walton engages in some pleading, much like Brooke. He is certain that they are in love and that their bond will endure, so he is not going to let Hope Logan leave. Hope is unable to move past what transpired in Eric's office, despite Carter's best efforts. Hope believed that Carter had betrayed her. He not only gave Ridge and Eric back control of the business, but he also let them kill Hope for the future without any protest. Nothing remains between them, in Hope's opinion. Will Carter accept the possibility that Hope has been deceiving him all along? If Zend Forrester doesn't approach her first, he might realize that Daphne Rose is another woman who is waiting in the wings. Hope gets the tough love she sorely needs from Brooke. For the first time, Hope Logan's Annika Noel world is falling apart, and her mother is refusing to listen to her sobs. With Hope's marriage to Liam Spencer failing and her subsequent poor choices, she has been in some kind of crisis for the past few years, and Brooke Logan has always been there to assist her get back on her feet. So far. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, the corporate coup has ended, and the only thing left to defend it is Hope. Carter Walton deceived the Forresters a few months earlier into signing documents that allowed him to take over Forrester Creations through an LLC. In order to transform the business into a worldwide luxury brand, he and Hope set out to alter the world. Carter's conscience continued to torment him even as they revived a jewelry business and had Daphne Rose develop the signature fragrance. For lying to the family that had always treated him like a member, he felt like a traitor. Hope encouraged him at every turn and insisted that he was a decent man despite his dishonest choices. His judgment was occasionally impaired by his relationship with her and the resulting loyalty to her. Everyone save Hope was pleased when Carter finally realized his mistake and turned over Forrester Creations to its proper owners. Everyone could see how uncomfortable and guilty Carter was now. Hope continued to wear her blinders despite the fact that Brooke and Daphne had both called him out on it and gently urged him to do the right thing. Hope simply didn't want to hear it, even when he tried to talk to her about his feelings. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, not even Brooke is standing by Hope's side. After a discussion, the Forresters opted to keep Carter and Brooke working, although it is not surprising that Hope is unemployed. She verbally abused Ridge Forrester, Eric Forrester, and Steffi Forrester after taking her dismissal as poorly as anticipated. Hope was still experiencing some power issues after assisting with the company's operations for a few months, and she expected Carter and her mother to support her. Rather, Brooke is appalled by her daughter's actions, and Carter is remaining with the company. Hope genuinely thought her mother would sympathize with her and be there for her, but she is shocked by how uninformed she has become. Hope used to be admired for her purity, generosity, and sincere goodness, but it appears that she has now forgotten these qualities. Brooke is upset with Hope, and she feels completely shaken by her sudden outburst.